Hey everybody, welcome to stream. Hope you're all doing well. Just going back to doing some more shiny hunting, in the mood to try and keep this Registeel grind up and hopefully get the shiny. Got quite a few things that are on my mind. I got a lot of things I want to talk about right now. We'll see how things go. There's a lot of different current events going on that I want to talk about at the moment, so I'll be more than happy to dive right into that in just a second. How are you guys doing? Hope you're all doing good. I've been paying attention to a lot of stuff that's going on right now. Only for some reason I don't remember one thing I was really meaning to talk about, maybe two, but the main one is you guys been keeping up with what's going on online about the whole GameStop situation. I'm still very confused about what's going on there. Seems like over the past few days, like, GameStop stocks have risen prices really risen price really high, I guess. I don't know how else to word it. That's something to watch. Apparently Reddit's the cause of that, and it seems like it keeps going up and up more and more. Really weird situation to watch unfold. People are placing money in this and getting a lot of money in return. And I think this all happened over fucking some group of people on Reddit trying to, like, rally together to buy a bunch of stocks, and then the prices skyrocketed. It's a weird watching this happen over the course of a few days. It makes me wonder and wish maybe I'd tried to invest in anything. It's really weird to see this happen all of a sudden. I remember when I was younger, actually, the story I remember that I saw that, when I was younger, around like 5th grade or something, I remember hearing about Google and thinking it was neat sounding and never really know. It's 4th or 5th grade, but yeah, I remember hearing about it and thinking it was neat sounding and thinking it might get big, and obviously, as a little kid, you can't play stocks or invest in anything. I don't think I ever said anything to anybody. Even if I did, I don't think it would have mattered. But, like, imagine if you placed like an investment and all that and got a return back in the day. You'd be probably fucking rich if you placed stocks in Google. I wonder how this all got started outside of the obvious answer of, like, Reddit and, hold on a second. My counter's not going up higher than it's supposed to, right? I feel like I'm seeing it bounce up by 2 when I'm only trying to do it by 1. That's weird. I don't know what that's about. Maybe I've been pushing it at the wrong moment. I'm just gonna keep going because I don't know for sure, and I don't think I need to stop it, but I'm just gonna keep moving. I don't think I miscounted. We'll just see. Whatever. Anybody got involved in this? I've heard of, like, a lot of people who've invested in it, and it's like some people got like $80,000 or something out of it, and I had a discussion about this with my parents yesterday. I hadn't argued for a minute or two, and then finally, shit, I don't know if I actually counted this one, but I mean, I'll fucking ignore this, whatever. Anyway, like I was saying, yeah, we got into a little argument over it, and arguing whether or not it's gonna save GameStop, and I don't know why, but they seem to think that GameStop's gonna be saved from this. The reality is nobody who's buying stocks right now actually gives a shit about the company staying afloat, and they're just buying them to make profit. GameStop's fucking dead. I don't know why people think that it would save it just because people are buying their stocks. They're not actually trying to save the company. I've been hearing a lot of stuff's been going on about this too, like some of the companies that are in stock investment, it's like they've been selling people's stocks without permission, and now there's a fucking lawsuit going on. I have no idea how crazy and how big this whole situation is. I'm sure it's a fucking really... Oh, I remember the other thing I was going to talk about, but we'll get to it in a second. There's one, like, thing related to games. Anyway, like I was saying, yeah, makes you wonder how this actually happened in the first place. It happened with Bitcoin getting really high in value. It happened with fucking GameStop stocks, and I'm not sure what else actually. I know Nintendo stocks have been kind of getting a lot of attention over recent years, and they drop really low, and then people buy them up to resell when they go high. I've thought of trying to invest stuff, but I don't think I've got the spare kind of money to try and invest in anything like that, so wouldn't bother. Plus, I'm fine saving up what I've got and, you know, just using the money I get from my SSI right now, because I'd like to try and turn this into a career where I can get a steady income one day, maybe. Not my focus, but still. Give me a second or two. I'm going to go ahead and grab the stream link for people who are interested in watching, just in case. That way there's no problem me putting it up in Discord later. So, 1 second. Should be 1 moment here. That brings up an interesting point that I was thinking of, though. You guys ever seen, like, the heyday, or not even heyday, maybe, I don't know how else to word it, like, when a company's really big or a website shows up for the first time, and then there's a lot of craze around it. It doesn't happen as much nowadays, but I remember that with YouTube and Google when people were first looking into the websites and they were new and nobody knew what either one of them was. That was a very, very interesting and very, very different time, honestly. It's just neat to see how websites evolve and how the internet evolves, honestly. Let's see, I'm thinking here. Is there anything else I want to talk about with this whole stock market and investment thing that's going on with GameStop and Reddit and all this other crap in general? I know that a lot of the, like, richer people are pissed off that now poorer people get access to the stocks because they invested in GameStop. I mean, whatever, fuck them. It's really shitty how our economy fucking tries to flip everything so that the rich get money and then stop the poor from being able to earn anything. I don't have anything against rich people, but America at least has a really, really awkward social structure, and it seems to be set up where it's meant for the rich to keep their pockets fat, and not a great thing, honestly. Oh well, whatever. I'm not sure if there's anything else I want to add on this topic or not. I don't have anything else that I can think of that I was going to bring up. Just like thinking of it really quickly. Just think there's anything more I wanted to say about that. I think I've discussed everything I needed to say about the GameStop stuff. I've kind of lost interest in GameStop as a whole, too. Like, I'm not really buying stuff there, and I stopped going there to get games or anything over the past few months. I don't care if they close down, and I'm not going to invest in a fucking sinking ship of a company like some people are. It was a giant risk, and it paid off for them, so cool, congrats. I'm sure some of them were going to make a dumb move, though, if they don't hurry up and sell their stocks where they plummet. Anyway, let's see. I had another thing I was going to talk about. It's just another topic for in general about life that I wanted to bring up, something that's going on. Apparently, COVID vaccines are finally getting rolled out. I know they were in the works for a while. Like, I've been hearing about stuff like how medical companies were getting, like, their staff getting vaccines so that they could distribute the vaccine to other people, and how a lot of people in those jobs are being vaccinated. And now I'm hearing about how elderly are getting vaccinated now in my area, and I remember talking to my mom and dad about it yesterday, and apparently they're going to get vaccinated really soon, and also my grandparents have been vaccinated. It's good to hear the vaccines finally, like, entering the phases where the general public can receive it. It's a little bit of a shame we have to wait. If we're younger, it's not that big of a deal, though I don't mind waiting, but I mean, it does suck a little bit I can't go get it right away. I gotta say, though, I'm excited to be able to get out and go do stuff again. I'm excited I'll be able to try and move on with my life and do some other things. I've been wanting to try and get out and meet people. I talked talked about the stuff in like that update video about the depression stuff, and it's definitely been heavy lately, and I feel like now is the time that I really want to go out and meet new people, see some familiar faces, make friends, try to get a relationship started. Like I said, I want to go out and handle things. I want to do more stuff with my everyday life, and I hope this vaccine is rolled out for everybody to access fairly quickly. The virus has really fucked up society. I've been hearing a lot of people saying like, oh, it doesn't matter, even if the vaccine, things won't go back to normal, and sure, they're not going to be perfectly normal, but I mean, there's no point in being negative or bitching and complaining about the COVID vaccine. This is actually just a positive no matter how you look at it. Things are going to be easier for us in everyday life, and be able to actually get out and do stuff again. It's good that we'll finally be able to fucking live normally without fucking masks. Also, I'll be honest, those masks are fucking hard to breathe in, so it's a little uncomfy wearing them sometimes, even if I do think it's a better idea if you're not vaccinated yet. Be glad to finally get this fucking virus just gone. I'm ready for it to be over. Oh, hold on a second, I accidentally fucking did something dumb on the chat by accident. I had something in the chat that I wasn't intending to, just because I fucking left my thing there when I was hitting the fucking prompt to keep adding on to the counter. Anyway, hey Melee Kirby. Welcome to the stream, good to see you again. Goes the hunting. Things have been not off to the best start, not really bad, but I mean, we're still in the early phases. Right now, things aren't really going super great at the moment, though. We're still looking like it might go kind of far. I don't know, we're only at like 300 something, so there's still plenty of opportunity for this shiny hunt to go well. It just depends on what happens, I guess. I hope it goes quicker than the last few I've done. I mean, I'm not going to complain about my last shiny hunt, but I wouldn't mind this going way quicker than Regice and Regidrago for the least part. So how's everyone doing today, anyway? I'm feeling a little bit better. I mean, I wasn't feeling great before I started streaming. I had to sit down and take a little bit of time to relax. I'd watch some One Piece out of boredom so I could just take my mind off of stress and whatnot, and enjoyed it. I've been taking a really slow pace because I'm waiting on the dub to catch up, and I'm almost out of episodes, actually. There's only like 2 episodes of the dub left to watch right now, so I've been watching it like incredibly slowly. I've actually been looking into watching some other shows again. Like, I like talking about shows pretty frequently with you guys. It's good to talk about either anime, TV shows, or whatever, and it's just good discussion. It's pretty fun. I was going to talk about anime specifically, but I'm going to hold on for a second before we do that, actually. Anybody got Disney Plus and checked out that new show? I've been hearing a lot of things online, and it mostly pops up in my newsfeed about that WandaVision show, and I don't even know the first thing about the MCU shit, and I'm so confused, like, what the point of the show is, and like what all the craze is, and I see people talking about it online. It's really weird looking at it from like an outsider's perspective and not actually knowing what the fuck it's supposed to be about. Apparently there's like a bunch of like Marvel shows that are going to be put on the Disney Plus in like the coming year or two as well, so I'm sure that's something that's interesting at the very least. Haven't watched it. Yeah, I'm not that surprised. I don't know how many people are actually watching it. It looks like a very, very interesting show. I mean, it seems weird, but from what I understand, the show has some deeper meaning to it. Like I said, I don't have Disney Plus, so I can't actually fucking comment on it. I'd like it if Disney Plus would like update their catalog, because I'm interested in getting it, but there's not enough shows that I really want to watch on it, actually, and I would like to watch like a few older classics that I enjoy. Also, never heard about Oh my gosh, I've got a hair on my tongue, I think. Hold on a second. Ugh, I hate when I get a fucking hair in my mouth. I can't figure out where it's at, and I think it's a hair. I'm not actually sure. It might be just me feeling things. Anyway, whatever. Family Guy and American Dad are going to Disney Plus. Oh my god. I wouldn't have imagined Family Guy would be on Disney Plus. Then again, I guess Disney owns a shit ton of copyright, so whatever. And yet they won't bring over Futurama, which is one of the better shows that they seem to have the rights to. That's kind of lame, because Futurama's actually good. I need to rewatch Futurama. It was good. I remember watching it in Adult Swim back in the day, and like every night or so. It was a fun time. I watched most of the episodes. I think some I probably missed out on, but they reran the show so many times, and it was easy to catch like a majority of the episodes. And then I missed out on all the later episodes, but I want to watch those now. Futurama was always good fun, shit, goofy show. Speaking of Disney Plus, actually, one show I've been, every time I've gone over to my brother's, I think I've mentioned it before, and like a show that I really want to watch on it, that I like to see on there, I genuinely wish they would fucking put House of Mouse on the programming already. I don't understand why it's not there. I just want to... I got the fucking hair out. The nasty. Felt it on my fucking tongue, finally. There. Like I was saying, House of Mouse was really, really good. I remember watching that back in the day. That was one of the better, like, Disney shows I remember watching, and I'm not even the type who really watches the kind of Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck or Goofy stuff as much as your average person. Like, I don't care about Disney's normal cartoons quite as much, and yet when it came to House of Mouse, that was actually a pretty good show, honestly. House of Mouse did like a really, really good format to it. I don't know what it was about it. It's just, I guess it's the way they had it set up, like it was like, oh yeah, these are episodes of like the show that aren't really episodes that were aired, and they're all doing it with this like little theme of like a clubhouse, and the way they handled the humor in the show was really, really good, and genuinely really, really enjoyed watching it. It's surprising they didn't put it on Disney Plus yet. It's a very, very fun show to watch, and easily one of their more high quality shows they put out there, so it would be nice to see it up on Disney Plus so that it could be available for watching easily. A second, I can't read the chat easy while I'm doing the fucking pattern, otherwise I'd check what your message says. Your House of Mouse. The Disney characters and shorts and here's they're in between. Yeah, that was what it was, I'm pretty sure. That was one of the shows I enjoyed. That was one of their better shows, in my opinion. It was honestly just a really, really fun show, and I miss watching that back on like Toon Disney back in the day. It was a fucking great TV show, so it'd be nice to see it on Disney Plus again. But I mean, whatever. Wouldn't really be a big deal either way. It's be good to have it on a easy to access platform. I think there's episodes on YouTube, but I mean, if you're gonna watch it, might as well have it on the same platform where you're putting all your stuff on and have access to like most of the shows equally. I don't really understand why they're holding off on so many of their legacy things. Like, I'd also like it if they put up the original DuckTales series. They've got the reboot on Disney Plus, but they don't have the old DuckTales for some reason. I think Darkwing Duck is on there. I'm not certain about that, and I haven't watched Darkwing Duck in forever. Darkwing Duck was actually really good, so maybe I'll have to watch that the next time I'm my brother's. Darkwing Duck was like, I don't know, I didn't really love a lot of superhero shows, to be honest. There were a lot of them that were kind of dumb, and Darkwing Duck was one of those ones that was goofy enough and funny enough that I actually enjoyed watching it, so I wouldn't mind sitting there watching Darkwing Duck again. That was a fun show. Yeah, I didn't see it when I looked. There's just the reboot and no sign of the original DuckTales anywhere, which is a little disappointing. Yeah, Darkwing Duck was fun. It was really, really good. I remember a lot of cartoons that I actually liked that were like superhero shows, and then there's quite a few that I didn't like, and let's see, I'm thinking of all the really good ones. I think some of them are probably owned by Disney too, since of the fucking Marvel buyout. I mean, let's see, actually. I know some of the Batman cartoons were really good. I can't remember all of them. Batman had some good shows. I don't remember really getting into the Superman TV shows any. Those were kind of eh. Spider-Man cartoon never clicked with me. It just wasn't that interesting. I know one show that I remember, and I don't think Disney has the rights to it. I might be wrong. If they do, I'd be very happy, but I remember the old Justice League show, and even the sequel series to it was pretty good. Honestly, excuse my throat's acting up really badly. Lately, my throat's been feeling fucking real nasty for some reason. Sorry about that. Like I was saying, the old Justice League cartoon was really, really good, and so was the sequel series, that Justice League Unlimited. I always loved watching Justice League and checking out new episodes of it, and I think it was like on the Toonami block every week, or it was either Toonami or like on their Friday night programming. It was just really, I don't know how they managed to do it. Usually you'd think when you see like a cartoon theming with like, oh, it's a bunch of superheroes, sometimes it gets kind of boring because they don't really do anything super creative with the heroes, and they'll just be like, oh, it's a bunch of heroes fighting off one powerful villain, and yet I feel like the plot lines in the Justice League show were actually pretty good, honestly. Like, they actually weren't boring shit where it was just them trying to have them fight off an overpowered villain every fucking time. It's on Disney Plus SUK, but it's a missing episode. And episode 1, or even the first few episodes weren't a story arc? That's interesting. It's weird how they've got at the original in the UK, but not in America. Or maybe they've got it now, but I'm not really certain. Last time I looked, it was just the reboot series and not the original DuckTales. And they may have updated it by now. I don't actually know for sure. I'd have to double check. They've got a lot of their good shows there that I need to rewatch and sit down and listen to again, just to have some fun watching. Like one show I remember really, really enjoying when I was younger, Goof Troop. That's good. Although Goof Troop is really interesting, sitting down and rewatching Goof Troop for the first time. I think it was like a few months ago when I was at my brother's or something. It was fun to see that, to watch more of it again once I go back there and sit down and rewatch the show. Really, really good. Wonder if they've got the Goofy movies on there. I think most people know about the first Goofy movie. In fact, the Goofy movie is pretty good, but I don't think it's common knowledge. There's actually 2 Goofy movies out there. There's the Goofy movie, and then after that movie, there was another movie that was called either like an extremely goofy movie or something like that. The title is like it's extremely goofy movie. It was a movie where it was going more in depth with the story of the first movie, and had that what's his name again? I forget what the Goofy's son's name is called. Oh yeah, Max. He goes off to college, and it's about him and his girlfriend's relationship, and I think it's got something to do with his dad, like, trying to drag him on another field trip or something. I don't remember. It's really stupid. It's a pretty good movie from what I remember watching it. It just focuses on him going to college, I think. It was a pretty good one. Yeah, I thought that was it. I couldn't remember. It's been a while since I've sat down and watched any of the Goofy stuff, and it's good, but I mean, it's not really stuff that I've watched a whole ton, honestly. Just thinking right now on what all I want to talk about, because I've covered a lot of things I was going to mention. Oh yeah, right. That's just a change of topic for the moment on something else I've been doing. I've been setting up for some fun streams over the weekend, namely on, I think, Saturday maybe, or no, let me see, let me double check actually. Yeah, tomorrow's Saturday, and tomorrow I'm going to be doing some Switch demos, actually. I've been interested in doing it for a little bit, so I set up and I got 2 games ready already, which was spent all night last night for a while sitting down tweaking Monster Hunter Rise demo so that I could have my audio where I wanted it and I could stream it tomorrow, because apparently the demo's online period ends on the 31st, so I need to do it then. And I was considering doing it today, but I didn't expect I would get Regirock so quick, and I wanted to sprout the total for my Registeel up to 500 first before I did the demo, so gonna get this over with and out of the way, and then Saturday, Sunday, I'm gonna be doing other stuff, and I think Monday will be like a free period. I've been working with Monster Hunter Rise for setting up for multiplayer, and outside of that, I also downloaded that Persona 5 Scrambles, or is that the right word? Persona 5 Scramble, excuse me, Blake, I got that mixed up when I was saying it. I downloaded the demo for it. It took a while to get the volume right, because there's fucking no audio settings whatsoever in the demo, and it was a nuisance to me having to reset the game like several times to get the fucking audio where I wanted it. And on top of that, there's no skip cutscene button, and for some reason, it's fucking loaded with fucking cinematic shit, so you have to sit here and wait on this to, or shit, wait on like little animated cutscenes or whatever while you're trying to play the game, and it's annoying and gets in the way. Also, the game is in Japanese, so I have no idea what the fuck any of the demo is saying. It was a nuisance, like, sitting there setting it up. I'm still gonna play it on stream, I think. I don't know if I'm gonna do it Saturday, because I looked, and apparently it's like an hour-long demo, so I don't know if I want to dedicate an entire hour of my time to doing a Persona 5 thing when I haven't even played Persona 5 yet, so I don't know. We'll see how I feel about it. If I do it, it's either going to be at the start or the end of the stream, actually. Let me see here. Checking on what I missed out on, chat. Her late Disney afternoon show called Quack Pack at the DuckTales. Nevies to teens. I don't think Too Hard to Be as time the worst way. Yeah, I haven't actually. I think I haven't seen that. I feel like that I've heard that name before, but I don't recall ever seeing that any. Probably for good reason, because when I think of that, and you look up media for Huey, Dewey, and Louie, it's always them as kids, which means that it's safe to assume it was probably a pretty failed attempt at another series, so not exactly that surprised that it's flopped and nobody knows anything about it. I'm assuming it's a very, very niche series they made. It's interesting to go back and look at some of their older shows and see like all their different products. I remember one show, I don't know if this is a Disney show or not, since we were talking about like hero shows a little bit earlier, that I remember watching. I think I saw it on Toon Disney, so they may actually own the rights to it. I remember I was watching and there was this show that came on like every now and then. It was called The Tick, I think. It was really, really stupid, and really, it just wasn't that interesting. It wasn't bad. It was one of those shows where they have an obligatory, really stupid protagonist character who does everything wrong, and pretty much everybody... It's like the kind of trope where it's like he's a superhero and he's a complete dumbass, and that was literally the entire fucking joke of the series, was about this fucking overly muscular guy running around trying to save people while he's causing problems because he's fucking not paying attention to what he's doing. It was a really fucking stupid show, and I don't remember it ever taking off any, and I just remember it being put up on the air a whole lot. I wonder if that's on Disney Plus. I don't know if they owned the rights to it. I think there was a movie about it sometime, like, not that long ago. Actually, give me a second. I'm gonna see what Google says about this, because I'm really curious. Weird. When I look it up, the only result I get is the fucking... well, actually, no, I was gonna say, for a second, is getting the fucking movie, but actually I think I see mention of the cartoon show. Let me see what this says, because I'm curious. Wait, what the... Okay, that's odd. For some reason, it shows a live-action version. If that's the thing, I didn't even know there was a live-action version. I've only seen the cartoon version, actually. Here's another slight change of topic, actually. We can maybe talk about this show a little later. I don't care, whatever. But, like, how many of you guys saw Space Ghost back in the day? You guys remember that? I think that was on Adult Swim back in the day, actually. Actually, we can talk about it in a second or two, since I see a message in the chat and I didn't check it yet. I was mentioning that the Tick show, it's an older show. It's another superhero cartoon about some dumb guy who's like really muscular going up to help people. I don't remember a whole lot about the Tick. It wasn't a very good show from what I remember, though. Oh yeah, Space Go was fucking good. I remember that really, really well. That was one of my favorite shows to watch. It was so stupid. That was like one of the best takes on a fucking parody of like one of those night shows I've ever seen, honestly. I wonder how long it ran, because I remember it being really good. I remember every day or every night when I was a kid and I at least wasn't asleep, I'd like get on and watch it and just like watch the characters start getting on and talking about all sorts of stupid shit and just sitting there going on and on for hours. Also, Space Ghost had like a pretty funny personality. God, I miss Space Ghost. I don't remember like enough about the actual show itself. I just remember it was really dumb. Really, really good though. Actually, I'm curious, and this is probably a no, but I'm just asking out of curiosity, like, didn't you guys actually watch any, like, talk shows out of those, or do you guys avoid them? I don't think I've ever properly cared to watch talk shows, honestly. I don't know, I haven't really been interested in them. I used to watch it that kind of stuff every now and then. I think when I was younger and like maybe around when I got out of high school or kind of close to it, I remember I watched like the Jay Leno show a little bit and watched a little bit of it. It was interesting, but nothing too crazy. Jay Leno was always interesting. He did some alright jokes and brought on a lot of cool special guests. I think the one I've seen the most out of is probably Conan O'Brien, and I haven't even watched his actual show. I just know that Conan was like really, really popular because he did a lot of dumb stuff and a lot of funny stuff, and also he'd do stuff like playing video games or bringing on people from movies, and he used to talk about their roles or just interviewing like random people in the street. The guy did all sorts of crazy shit, and he made his show like really, really interesting as a result. I feel like maybe I should have watched his show a little bit more, not that it really matters. It was a pretty good one from what I remember. Has a very, very good sense of humor too. I like how he makes that kind of snarky and sarcastic commentary, and it works out well for him. I can only imagine how much stress that kind of job has, though. Have to get into the frame of mind of being able to practice a script every single day and have to learn, or like have to get used to improvising stuff so you can do a talk show. That would be a lot. I mean, streaming's similar, but streaming's not quite the same as a talk show. Talk show seems like you'd have a lot more stress to deal with in general. Think if there's any other ones that I wanted to bring up, actually, because I don't think there's any more. I don't really care about talk shows a whole lot. I only watch them every now and then at best, honestly. I don't really care about them a whole lot, frankly. Actually, there is another thing I was meaning to bring up regarding game demos that I had glanced over, and this is also relating to my stream tomorrow, actually. I've been following that Balan Wonderworld game. I guess I've been saying the name wrong for a while because I thought it was called Balan Wonderland, whatever, doesn't matter. But yeah, I've been following the game for a while, and the demo dropped yesterday, and I've got to say I am a little bit nervous about playing it now because I was planning to download the demo and I'm still going to, but I was actually kind of looking forward to the game, and after looking at the reception for the demo, I've been seeing a lot of people who've been saying the game is not very good, and that the budget seems to have gone entirely into the cutscenes. Like, apparently the game plays really, really slowly. Your jumping is really, really bad. The game looks ugly on most platforms. It just doesn't play well or look good, and it seems like it signs that it's going to be a really, really bad game, even though the trailer looked really good. It's starting to look like the developers put all their budget into making the cinematics look good and not put any actual focus into the gameplay itself, which is concerning. Either that or they bit off more than they can chew by trying to do this costume gimmick and then shoving like a billion costumes into the game, which, if that they did, then that's going to backfire all on its own. Let me see here. Played the demo and I felt really mixed on it. The game itself feels like it lacks any punch or engagement. It should be a fun 3D platformer. Yeah, I kind of figured that might be the case. I've been hearing a lot of things about it. Hopefully, I'm not expecting anything, but hopefully the developers can get it under control and fix things before release. I'm gonna be honest here. I feel like Square should do the smart move here and fucking delay the game and get their time into fucking improving the gameplay. Release a second demo and get general reception up higher, because it's much better of an idea to actually fucking fix the game than to release it in a half-assed state and then get people to hate them for releasing a really, really bad game. So, yeah, they should work on fixing it. Let me see here. Best way I can describe it is it's like a 3D Kirby game. Sluggish and like the deal and really a typical 2D Kirby game. Yeah, I kind of not surprised about that entirely. I was thinking it'd be similar to Mario Odyssey, but the way I'm hearing a lot of people describing it, it doesn't sound like it's even close to as good as Mario Odyssey. Kind of wonder if we're going to get an Odyssey 2 at some point. Might have to hold off a second before we discuss that a second. I mean, discuss that anymore, though, because still want to talk about this game a little bit more before I change the subject. Actually, I was looking into the developers because I remember reading about this on the Reddit thread. People were talking about who was developing the game, and it was like one person mentioned in particular they'd looked up the developers because they were curious about all the info in it, and I've searched down, I noticed a certain comment about this, and apparently one of the developers of this game and the ones who were hired to work on it is fucking Arzest. I'm not surprised about this, frankly. Like, at first I would have been very much surprised, but now after seeing the reception, I'm actually more in line with, like, yeah, that kind of makes sense with how the game's kind of shoddy. Arzest isn't known for developing very quality products. Also, it's former Sonic team staff. I don't know how I missed all the giant glaring signs that something's wrong, but the fact that there's members from Sonic Team who haven't made a good game in like a fucking decade, and Arzest who have made 90% bad games, signals that, yeah, something's wrong here. They hired some of the worst developers they could to work on this project, and it shows, honestly. If they hadn't got fucking Arzest, maybe they'd actually be getting somewhere with the development of the game, honestly. I mean, I'm not going to be completely harsh on them. They're not a very good developer, but they have done a few good things at their like, projects. I know Arzest made... Yeah, they also made Yoshi's Island DS, and Yoshi's Island DS was actually kind of good, but I still feel like Arzest has made more bad games than they have good games, honestly, so I'm not going to give them that much slack, frankly. They're a very, very bad developer overall. I'd still hate that they fucking commissioned a fucking 2D Pikmin game that was some crappy filler before they actually worked on Pikmin 4, and of course, Arzest was making it, so it's not even any good. It's like, I'd hate seeing more of their games. They're just not a very fun developer to play games from. Okay, now I think I can change what I was talking about and talk about what I mentioned again, because I think I don't have anything more I want to say about Balan Wonderworld right now. I mean, apparently it's supposed to be a Knight spiritual successor, and I don't know anything about Knights. I mean, I don't know if that's what they were going for their gameplay, but yeah, I'm not going to talk about it a whole lot more because I don't have anything else to say. I hope they managed to figure out a way to fix the game and get it up to expectation so that it's not a complete disappointment, but it's not the end of the world. If this doesn't get improved, I'm fucking buying Monster Hunter Rise instead. I don't care. They've got one chance to fix this, and they better fucking take it seriously. I'm curious, though, since I mentioned this. I am wondering, like, I wonder if we're going to get an Odyssey 2 sometime in the near future, because it's been a while since the last mainline Mario games came out. We had Odyssey in, like, 2017, and then technically, I guess you could count Mario 35. I don't feel like Mario Maker counts as the same kind of focus that they'd probably normally have. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think Nintendo's Mario team was probably hugely split for making Mario Maker 2. I'm glad they made it, but we haven't heard anything about their like projects in the last few years. I'm wondering what's going on with Mario right now. They haven't updated us on 3D Mario or 2D Mario in some time, and I genuinely wonder how much manpower it took them to make Mario 35. Surely it wasn't that much trouble. I'm assuming that they worked with the Tetris 99 team, because I think I recall reading online about something like they got help from the Tetris 99 devs, like, making Mario 35, so I'm assuming they worked on it there. I would expect Odyssey 2 probably is on the way, though. Yes, man, Lamar, is he doing a new Mario game? I don't know. I feel like they've not been prioritizing 3D Mario right now. They've been going in a weird direction, so I mean, I don't know. Galaxy 2 happened pretty quick when it came to 3D Mario games. It was like, what was it actually, 2 years apart? I think maybe 3, right? Yeah, it was like 2 years apart or something. It wasn't that long. They didn't take long after Galaxy 1, which, that was an unsurprising thing. The only thing I could think of for why they wouldn't be working on Odyssey 2 would be if another 3D game entirely is in development, and I honestly don't know if that's the case or not, especially with the fact that they've been focused on the Switch, and normally when they make new 3D Mario games, they don't focus on making them specifically for the same system. Usually they release them 2 systems apart instead of in, like, one system, so I'm assuming they've been hard at work on something new. The only thing that puts doubt in my mind whether or not we're getting an Odyssey 2 or something new entirely, which could be exactly what they're planning instead of Odyssey 2, is the fact that they made this Bowser's Fury thing, and I genuinely wonder that there might be, like, a chance that Nintendo's big 3D Mario team wasted their time working on this fucking Bowser's Fury project instead of working on, like, a new project or Odyssey 2 altogether. Like, I genuinely hope that they're not releasing 3D World and Bowser's Fury specifically so they can just wiggle their way out of saying, oh yeah, we're not going to release a Mario game this year. This is your 3D Mario for the next couple of years, so enjoy it. That'd be a huge disappointment if their entire way of trying to calm us down and not release more would be just a fucking 6-hour campaign for, like, 3D World that they worked on. That would be kind of lame, knowing that we've been waiting at least, like, 4 years. It's gonna be, 4 years now between Odyssey, so hopefully they're working on something. I'm sure we're gonna see something for 3D Mario soon, whether or not it's Odyssey or something else entirely, because I feel like if they're still going to work on the Switch, and they have no reason not to, they could have easily recycled their work from Odyssey and used the graphics from there and worked with a new project and got a lot of the work already done just using Odyssey stuff. So I bet we're going to see a new 3D Mario game in the near future. Also, I don't agree with the idea that Breath of the Wild 2 would cut into the development. I'm pretty sure Nintendo has a separated team for Zelda games. I don't think the Zelda team works on Mario games. I'm pretty sure I think Zelda and Pokemon have like a very samey kind of structure for their development. Like, not the exact same, but I'm pretty sure Zelda focuses on the remake, like a remake team, and then a main team, and I know for a fact from what I've read online that Pokemon has like 2 main teams, maybe 3, I'm not really certain. I know they have a team that does like remakes and one that focuses on creating new generations, so we know that's the and part of the way they are structured. I kind of wish that they would change the way their development works for Pokemon, though, because I don't like the fact that they're leaning into fucking doing crunch time and fucking and rushing out Pokemon games rather than letting games have more time to develop. It literally, if you look at the way Game Freak's handling Pokemon, it's pretty much the national dex got cut because Game Freak wasn't, or maybe not Game Freak, excuse me, I think the Pokemon company was too impatient, didn't want to wait another year on Sword and Shield getting developed. Like, they could have probably got the national dex in every Pokemon if they hadn't fucking rushed the game to make it yearly release. I don't like the fact they've cut away from this form and the old formula. I say what you will about it. I know it's a controversial thing that's been going on since this game released, but I feel like that's the one part of Pokemon that's always been something that a lot of people can rely on for a reason to play Pokemon, is that you could always go to Pokemon and you could play and you could actually get your favorites in through transferring, because there would always be that guarantee of the entire Pokédex being in the game. Now that's one less reason to buy Pokemon, now that the Pokédex is going to be cut going forward. It's like, it's kind of lost part of my interest in it, and I was all aboard for Sword and Shield a lot more than I was, more than later before I heard about this. Excuse me, my words mixed up a little bit. It definitely dampened my interest when I heard they cut the Pokédex. And they waited at such a pivotal moment to reveal this information. If they'd maybe been open about it and not hiding it until E3, it might have been a little bit better. Instead, they waited and went behind everybody's backs at the info and waited until the big moment when we were waiting on new info. That just kind of stung seeing that, honestly. But whatever, not really a big deal. I'm not looking to buy a lot of Pokemon games anyway in the first place. I'm not sure. I don't think I have any interest in a Gen 4 remake. If they do Let's Go, I'll probably pick up a second gen Let's Go game, because I actually want a Johto remake and I'd be down to play it. Let's Go is one of the more fun Pokemon games I've played in past decade, so I enjoyed that game a lot. I definitely can say Let's Go was a good time. Very, very good game. Let's see here, just thinking on what else is going on right now besides, I know Pokemon trading cards are still really big now and some new decks getting released. I've been hearing about that quite a bit. Not really anything too big that I'm interested in there. I've never really seen the hype in Pokemon trading cards, to be honest. I just don't have any huge amount of interest in it. Anything really good there. Actually, here's another topic for a little bit. Shit, did I hit the wrong button? I don't even actually know. Okay, no, I didn't. Just making sure. I couldn't tell. Like I was saying, excuse me. So what are some good games or cheap games or anything like you guys have been playing or keeping your eyes on, releases coming up this year? I don't think many people are buying a whole ton of things, but I know there's some good indie stuff that's released, and there's games that are worth picking up. I've not been keeping my radar too open at the moment, though. I haven't been certain what I've been wanting to buy, and I've been looking for new games, and I'm finally able to buy something next month. I'm curious what everybody's playing right now, or if anything good's coming out in the next couple of months that's worth looking into. I have a few games that I've been looking at actually right now that I've thought about buying and still undecided on that. Actually, Cyber Shadow, yeah, I was watching that some. I had interest in that. I've been thinking about picking it up, so that's one I've been looking at. I don't think it's too pricey. I might get that. That's one of the games I had on mind right now. I think one was Cyber Shadow that I wanted to look into. There's another game that it's a slightly older game. I say older, I don't know if this is the right word for it. Early access on Steam or whatever. Anyway, I think you guys have probably heard of this, at least, even if you don't know much about it. There's something on Steam that's called the Coin Game, and I've been looking into this a little bit. I've been seeing people play it a little more every now and then, and I kind of have interest in picking up the Coin Game and, like, checking it out. It's really, really cheap and looks really good. I like the way it's, like, structured like an old arcade game, and I like the way it's set up where it's like you can do stuff like you would at some... Excuse me, that's shit on my hand right now that I wanted to get off. Fucking hair fell on my hand. Anyway, like I was saying, you can, like, go out and play like little games in, like, a game center or whatever, this kind of thing, and sit there and mess around, do whatever, and try to earn prizes and, like, make money in-game to mess around with. It's a really silly-looking game, but it gives you, like, that carnival or arcade kind of vibe, kinda. It looks kind of good. I don't know if I'd say it's amazing, but Coin Game looks like a good play that'd be pretty fun, maybe good for streaming a little bit, and I've been thinking about picking up the Coin Game. It's only like $8 on Steam, so I'm thinking about buying it. Seems like a fairly worthwhile investment since it's really cheap, and it'd be a fun thing to goof off with a little bit. Let's see here. Missed a message. I'll check on that in a second. Fucking, I wish I could remember this pattern easy enough that I didn't have to fucking pay attention to the screen every time I was doing this, whatever. Picking up Turrican Flashback. Turrican games on Switch. Never played Turrican before. I've never actually heard of Turrican. I don't actually know anything about it. Sounds interesting, though. Seems like it might be worth looking into. I haven't looked into, like, older games or compilations as much. I mean, I'll pick them up if I have interest, and there's some good ones, but I haven't really been buying them as much. I think the last one I got was the Mega Man stuff, and I haven't bought the Zero or ZX collection yet, even though I've been intending to. Maybe I should pick that up now. I don't actually know. Been waiting for a good point to pick it up. Speaking of Mega Man, I need to pick up and get back into playing Mega Man so I can do that Trombone... How the fuck you say that game? Whatever, I remember that game, the spin-off for the Legends stuff, and then play Legends 2 eventually. I want to go back and catch up some more in Mega Man. I think there's a few other games I've been looking at. I don't know how good they are. Like, one I've been having an eye on that I wanted to pick up and I never got around to it. I've been looking into that Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2 because I got Bloodstained Curse of the Moon and I enjoyed that quite a bit, and apparently the sequel is pretty good. I don't know if it's actually worth picking up, but I have my eye on it. I don't really care about the big one that was made, like the main Bloodstained thing, that Ritual of the Night. I just don't feel like it hits the right areas for me. I don't care about that game. Somebody doesn't look like it'd be my kind of game, really. It's not that I don't like the way Castlevania plays, just I don't know if I have interest in it or not. I haven't played any of the later Castlevanias that are more in line of an actual Metroidvania, so I don't really feel like I'd be ready to dive into that Bloodstained game without playing one of the other Castlevanias first and getting my hands-on one of those games and just trying to get my toes dipped into more Castlevania in general first. And the Zero ZX collection with the Zero series line. Next Adventure, a nice bonus. Yeah, I've been hearing pretty decent things about the series, so I might have to look into it. And only thing I hear is, like, I think apparently I've been hearing, like, 0-1 is a little on the way too hard side, which is concerning. It's the only thing I've been worried about, is apparently the difficulty's not the best balanced for a Mega Man game, and that's saying a lot because usually Mega Man's difficult, but it's usually really, really fair. I hope we get a new Mega Man related announcement soon, but I don't expect anything, especially after that Capcom leak, and Mega Man was completely absent from any of the games that were mentioned on the leak, so don't expect we're going to be seeing Mega Man this year. I hope I'm wrong about that, though. Mega Man 12 or Mega Man X9 would be a very, very welcomed thing to see this year, actually, so I'd be totally down for either one of those. Less so for Mega Man 12, but I mean, I'd still be down for it. Ugh, fuck. Capcom's been doing good recently, actually. They've been nailing it with their games overall. Like, Resident Evil 8 looks impressive. Last time they did, like Ace Attorney was very, very good. Mega Man 11 is good. They've been putting out a lot of good games and a lot of stuff that's like really, really cool looking, and I genuinely like the way Capcom's been handling their games recently. Capcom's been doing a great job of coming back from having like a really bad reputation, so I'm kind of glad Capcom makes some quality games, frankly. Let me see. Difficult and has some flawed design choices. Forgiven for a second. Any save feature for that one? 0 series is good. That's good to hear, actually. I'm gonna have to play it. Probably gonna stream the 0 games eventually. I don't know when. Maybe I'll look into it. Speaking of games I need to stream, I need to get around to playing Spyro 2 sometime. I don't know when I'm going to, but that's my plan. I was gonna go to another Spyro game, but I kind of feel like I'm falling behind everybody else in the Reignited trilogy, and I need to start Spyro 2 sometime soon, actually. I don't know when I'm going to play that again. I think right now, I've been looking at what I want to do for streams. I think I'm going to play through Spyro 2 once I get done playing through Gex, finally. We've still got a little bit more of Gex left over. I don't know how much more it's going to take to beat it. I'm actually gonna, just for the record, if anybody wants to watch more of it, I'm planning to do more Gex on Sunday. I want to do the demos and then do Gex on Sunday so that I can pick back up and, like, get a little bit closer to done. I think I'll be able to finish it in 2, maybe 3 streams from now. I don't know for certain because I'm going to be spacing it because of the fact that I want to get the shiny hunting stuff over with, so I'm doing shiny hunting primarily for a little bit until I get Registeel, so that's my focus. But I think if I time it right, I get the feeling I might be able to get all the remaining levels aside from like boss levels and maybe bonus levels completely out of the way in the next stream, and then for the the next stream after that I can tackle the remaining boss fights, and then once that's over, I plan to go back and do one more stream where I get like all the PlayStation exclusive levels done on the stream as like a little bonus, so I'll probably have 2, maybe 3 streams at the absolute most left of it, so I think Gex will be getting wrapped up really, really soon, actually. How soon, I don't know, but probably soon. Oh, man. I hope we get more Mega Man sometime soon, though. It'd be nice to see more of the series. It's been really, really good. I have a feeling if we get another collection, we're probably going to see the Mega Man Battle Network stuff get put up on modern systems next. I've only played, like, so much of Battle Network, actually. It's not like it's a bad series. In fact, when I played it, it was really good. I think my only experience of, like, Battle Network and Star Force, I remember when I was younger, I had a friend that I borrowed it from, and I played it for a little bit. pretty fun little take on Mega Man. A very neat way to like do the series. It almost felt like a kind of semi-reboot. It was really, really neat. I like how they took the framing of Mega Man and put it in a completely different story framing and whatnot, and also it played more like an RPG game. I like the whole emphasis they had on the internet. That was something that I found was really, really fun, so I would be down for a Battle Network collection. I'd probably play those games. Those are pretty alright. I wouldn't mind getting to revisit those games. They were fairly fun from what I remember. I didn't get to play them very much. I just hope that they do a collection. They don't fucking do a split-up collection, because I remember back in the day they had, like, they did it like Pokemon, where they'd split the releases between, like, 2 games, and I'd rather they just give us a collection that had all the Battle Network games and Star Force stuff in, like, a single collection, and not try to split it up between versions. That'd be kind of to be honest. Oh god. That's something to think about. All these things in the game, and also older references. Fucking seeing how they'd translate nowadays, and didn't translate nowadays playing the game. I need to play those games someday. Maybe I will when I get more time. I need to schedule a time for that Mega Man thing where I was doing a marathon. I just haven't had a point where I felt like it'd be a good time to sit down and do it, actually. I hope those rumors about Ace Attorney turn up true, actually. I know that I talked about that on stream before, but I genuinely love the Ace Attorney series, and I remember, like, there was, like, a leak that popped up about supposedly a collection between, like, as the Ace Attorney 4 through 6 were supposedly going to be put into a new Ace Attorney trilogy for the Switch, and also, well, as a Switch, and I think modern platforms. God damn it, I accidentally fucking hit the wrong button. Whatever. Like I was saying, yeah, apparently there was supposed to be a new collection and a leak that was mentioned, and also there was mention of, like, what are they called? I don't remember what the hell the series is subtitled, like the great Ace Attorney stuff that's like Japanese exclusive and didn't make it outside of Japan is supposedly going to get localized for Ace Attorney's anniversary and get released like very, very soon. So if that's happening, that's like a really, really big thing. Excuse me. Oh, fuck, my throat. I know those games were like Japanese exclusive for the longest time because of copyright issues revolving around Sherlock Holmes, and seeing them finally get released and put up in America would be good, since they were stuck on 3DS and in Japanese. I wanted to play those games because they look really, really good. Hopefully it all turns out true. Also, on top of this, there was like mention of Ace Attorney 7 being worked on and planned to be released like relatively soon, so if this all ends up true, it's going to be like a really, really big anniversary for Ace Attorney, so it'd be cool to see all this come true, actually. I hope it's true. It'd be a big year for Capcom if it is. It'd be nice, actually. Shame to see Capcom's doing all this cool stuff with their IP, and then you look over at companies like Konami, and Konami's fucking wasting away all their actual IPs. I genuinely have, like, no actual respect for Konami anymore. They fucking completely just ruined the good name of Contra, and they haven't done anything great with Castlevania either, because the last thing I remember was a mobile game, and I think they went in making another fucking pachinko game, so yeah, I don't know. Konami doesn't seem to give a shit about their IP anymore, and it's kind of sad. That Contra game they released last year or so was really, really bad looking, and when I remember playing, that was just terrible. I kind of wish somebody would buy all the franchises that Konami owns and just release them in collections and make new ones instead of leaving them in Konami's hands, because Konami's done fucking absolutely nothing with their IP, honestly. It's fucking sucking to watch how they just ruin their good series they've got. I want somebody who actually gives a shit about their games to actually buy them off of them and release like collections or work on new ones, that'd be good. Also, they killed that PT game back in the day, and that was kind of sad to see because that was a really cool looking game. I thought that was like one of their better looking games they had. It's honestly really cool to look back at, and it's a shame we never got to see what exactly came out of PT, because PT looked like it had a very, very good, very, very interesting design to it, so we can always wonder what might have happened, and I bet it would have been really neat to see it come to fruition. I mean, I'm not going to say everything would have been perfect, because let's be real, looking at what happened fucking Death Stranding, it's kind of questionable if Kojima actually knows what the fuck he's doing with this writing. I remember everybody got like so hyped up over that game, and then very quickly the hype ended up like fucking completely drowning out because Death Stranding was disappointing and nobody found it to be very fun. I still don't understand what the fuck his goal with that was. I'm assuming it was meant to have some greater message behind it, and Death Stranding didn't exactly seem like something great. I don't know. I don't remember there being anything too good about Death Stranding. I really didn't like Death Stranding. I'm not surprised. It didn't seem like it was an amazing game. I think the general reception behind Death Stranding is that it was pretty crappy and not that interesting of a video game, so I'm not surprised if the game wasn't that good. I never actually got around to playing it, and for fair reason. It didn't really tick any of the boxes for stuff I was interested in. I don't know, it didn't look like a fun game, to be honest. Ugh, fuck. I'm trying to think. There's a lot I'm thinking of right now, but I mean, not a lot that I can think of that I'd to talk about at the moment. I mean, I got a few things that I want to bring up, and there's quite a few things in general that I've listed out that I want to talk about, though. Is there anything big going on in game news right now that I haven't mentioned? I'm not actually certain. I'm just wondering, because I feel like I may have glanced over something important, but I can't think of any like game news that's came up lately. Nothing important is happening that I'm aware of. At least nothing that I can remember. I just remember about Sonic's voice actor apparently quitting, and now they're looking into a new one. I'm still wondering what Sega's got planned for Sonic Anniversary, since I remember like I think last year, maybe it was 2019, they came out claiming they were going to do like 4 Sonic games for the anniversary, and I honestly have got to say that I don't think Sega knows what the fuck they're doing with their IP, especially Sonic, anymore. Like, you shouldn't be fucking rushing to release like 4 projects for Sonic when you can't fucking get one game out that your fan base universally agrees on to be good. Literally, the most recent good Sonic game everybody can agree on wasn't even made by Sonic team themselves. It was made by Christian Whitehead's team. It's like, if you're trying to release 4 fucking projects rather than trying to release a quality video game, maybe you should take a good long look at your fucking structure for how you're making your game and fucking actually put more effort into making good Sonic titles. Taking another fucking bunch of Sonic games that don't have any fucking effort put into them is only gonna piss people off, honestly. The mainline 3D Sonic this year. I'm cautiously optimistic that'll be a good one to the ship. Sonic Forces. Yeah, Sonic Forces was a bad game, and it was not worth the time at all. I also feel like, I know some people are going to disagree with me here, but I don't think Sonic Lost World was that good either. Sonic Lost World had pacing issues, and it didn't feel like the game was... It felt like the speed was really, really awkward. It was either too fast and you had to force Sonic to run, or you had to walk really, really slowly. The boss fight just felt awkward, and I didn't really love the voice acting in it either. It just felt like there were too many problems in Sonic Lost World that didn't actually like it, and I don't see how many people can so many people can just like overlook the issues of the game. I feel like there were a lot of problems that kind of dragged the game down. I don't even want to fucking bother discussing Sonic Boom right now, because we all know Sonic Boom was a fucking catastrophic failure of a game, and for good reason, so doesn't exactly feel like there's a need to bring that up. I think there's been rumors, actually, about Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 getting remakes, actually, so I want to be excited about remakes, but at the same time, it's Sonic Team, and while it's hard to fuck up a remake, Sonic Team seems to fuck everything up somehow, and it makes me feel like even a fucking remake is genuinely something they wouldn't be able to handle correctly. Like, I don't want to see Sonic Team working on Sonic anymore. They just don't seem to be trustworthy and know what the fuck they're doing with their stuff anymore, so I'd rather we don't have to deal with Sonic Team fucking botching another game. I don't know. Don't enjoy fucking seeing them put out a new game and then it being fucking terrible. Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyrical. On scale of Sonic 06? Yeah, I knew it was bad. I remember playing it some, but yeah, I didn't remember it being that bad. It was not a great thing from what I remember. It was just not fun time at all. I think Sonic 06 is the worst Sonic game has ever put out. You know, is a term of pretty much everything going wrong. Yeah, it was a bad game. I feel like Sonic Boom had potential to be good, and it seems like Sega didn't know what the fuck they were doing, and they rushed the game too much, and they forced their team to do too much crunch, and I don't know, there was a lot of problems that happened to Sonic Boom. It's funny because looking back at Sonic Boom, there was the DNA of a good game sitting there waiting to be made, and then they started rushing it, and they canceled like the game being multi-plat, and they forced it into being a Wii U exclusive, and after they did all that shit, the game kind of went slowly down a pipeline of getting worse and worse. I feel like they could have easily gotten things to go a lot better if they hadn't fucking screwed with the development so much. Hi there, welcome to the stream. Tries did I do to get the Regirock? Surprisingly, that was only a day of shiny hunting. I got it in 218 total encounters. Like, I remember that really, really well because it just popped up like incredibly quickly. Otherwise, we'd still be sitting on that, and I'm actually very grateful that's over with. I don't get a ton of fast shinies. That was one of the few I've had, actually. Still have yet to get a one encounter shiny egg Pokemon, or one encounter like a KO method shiny, but maybe one day that'll happen. That'd be exciting. But I mean, 218 is really goddamn low for doing static encounter shiny hunt, so I'm actually happy with it. Let's see, I'm thinking here on what we were talking about earlier, just because I don't want to break away from the flow of conversation we were talking about. It's really interesting to discuss Sonic games, actually. How many of you guys remember playing Shadow the Hedgehog, actually? I remember that back in the day. I feel a lot of people, I'm seeing a lot of people talk about, like, when Sonic had its big downfall, and whenever it comes to, like, the Sonic game that's responsible for the series going into a downhill, rather than just going downhill from where onwards. Excuse me, getting my words mixed up. Yeah, going downwards. I feel like Shadow the Hedgehog is the game that started all this. I've seen a lot of people who are really, really overly critical of Sonic Heroes, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna say Sonic Heroes is the best game. It's not that bad, though. I feel like a lot of people are really, really overly critical of Sonic Heroes. Sonic Heroes, in my opinion, was like the very last of the good Sonic titles before things went to total shit. Sonic Heroes was still fun. Sonic Heroes was still the kind of game where it was enjoyable, but it was not that bad. Have I played Sonic Forces? I have. I haven't streamed it, though. I am kind of glad I didn't. It was not a fun time. That game was really, really bad. I remember playing that game, and I can only remember maybe one level out of the entire game being okay, and I don't even remember which level that was. The game was fucking entirely boring and just a drag to sit through the entire time. Also, the writing was beyond fucking awful. There was literally nothing about that game that was fun to play through. Also, it really feels like they just fucking forcefully tagged classics, or not, well, that's our word for it. Yeah, they forcefully just tagged classic Sonic onto the game for no reason. Like, there was literally nothing in the game that benefited from having him actually added to the game. Classic Sonic would have been, everything that I meant to say was, the game would have been the same regardless of whether or not Classic Sonic was in it. He was just in there for that quick bit of people who like Classic Sonic and trying to make those easy sales on it. Like, that was such a lame move. It didn't add anything to the game at all. Infinite is a laughably bad villain. Edgelord, or Edge Fox. Yeah, I feel like it's very bad in terms of his writing. It's funny how a lot, like, I don't feel like very many Sonic villains have actually been super well written. Like, ironically, I feel like Eggman is probably the best written Sonic villain. I might be mistaken about that, but like, there aren't a lot of other Sonic villains that I can even name that were decent. Like, maybe Chaos, but I mean, Chaos didn't even have a personality to it, so it's a little odd to try and attribute like a villain role to Chaos when it was really just a monster that Eggman caused to go on a rampage. I mean, I guess you could argue that they're, like, who the actual villain of Adventure 2 is ambiguous because there's no clear person to blame for what happens in the game. Although it's a fucking interesting game, honestly. Actually, speaking of adventure games, I kind of want to replay Sonic Adventure sometime. Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 are fantastic games, and I miss those games very much. Games I really, really enjoyed playing back in the day. The only thing I didn't like about Sonic Adventure is fucking Big the Cat. Big the Cat just had an ed part in the game, and a very ed like storyline. That whole Froggy story was just fucking forced into the game. That fishing added really nothing to the game whatsoever. I don't really get why they shoehorned Big the Cat into the game, frankly. He's literally just a filler part of the story before you can reach the ending. Yeah, I think the entirety of the Sonic fandom feels the same about Big the Cat. He genuinely serves no fucking purpose to actually bettering the game. He's just there as filler, and he kind of shows that. His missions, like, the only good thing about his missions is that they're short and they end quickly. Otherwise, it's not very fun doing the missions. Just boring, frankly. Also, it's more fishing shit, and I've got to be honest, it's funny to say this, but I feel like it's the truth. I find that fishing in real life is more fun than fishing in video games, and Big the Cat is a very, very good example of this. I don't know, you can feel a little bit of excitement when you go fishing in real life. Like, you can feel the fish actually biting at the line and feel like feedback and try to reel the fish in when you're fishing. But if you're playing at a video game, you're just sitting there staring at a screen waiting for something to happen. Real fishing actually involves a little bit of engagement to it. Fucking video game fishing is just fucking staring at your screen all the time. I don't see the appeal of fishing video games whatsoever. They're so fucking boring. At least in hunting games, there's a little bit of action. Let me see here. Story in Sonic Adventures, Gamma's passing well done. Yeah, Gamma's got a good one. Also, I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not, and this is regarding Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 both. I'll be honest, one of the worst parts of the game, this is after Big's part in the story, though, I feel that Knuckles and really the Chaos Emerald hunting is part of the worst parts of the games. The Emerald hunting doesn't really add a whole lot to the game. It really just forces you to sit there and go play a game of fucking Easter egg hunting on every map and fucking sit down just wasting your time searching for these emerald shards when you're trying to do a storyline. I find the emerald hunting is just boring. It doesn't add anything that's fun. It's just, oh, you're getting close to it? Nope, gotta keep searching. You got hot? Okay, there you finally found the shard you're looking for. And if you go in the wrong spot, well, there you go. You're gonna be fucking looking around the map until you see the radar start going off. I find the fucking Knuckles segments are just, they're not very fun to play through. They're just boring, in my opinion. It's like it takes way too much time to get through them. Yeah, I remember that from Shadow the Hedgehog. There's a lot of things about that game that were really dumb. Like the fucking swearing thing. Tried to make the character more edgy than necessary. Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald? Oh, God. Also, they fucking gave Shadow a gun. I feel like Shadow the Hedgehog kind of was a bad game. Kind of fucking ruined Shadow's reputation. He was already a pretty good character, and then they made him, like, really edgy for no good reason. It didn't really add anything in the games, actually. It just kind of made Shadow more of a laughing stock. Also, fuck, my fingers are fucking aching really badly right now. And I kind of need to go to the bathroom. I'm going to wait just a little bit. I'm going to need a BRB break in a few minutes. I'll get to 4:30 encounters, and then we'll pause the game. I need to take a short AFK break in a little bit. That's okay with you guys. Also, welcome to stream, Wayne. I'm glad you could make it. You haven't missed out on a whole lot. We've just been doing this. Nothing crazy's going on. Try the Balan Wonderworld demo yet? Not yet. I've been holding off until I can stream it, although I've been planning to, like, volume check everything since it's natural for that for streaming. I have it downloaded and waiting on it. Yesterday I started downloading, or when I say started, I don't know if that's the right word, but whatever. I downloaded, like, 2 more demos, including the Balan Wonderland demo, so I can do a stream tomorrow and play through, like, 2 or 3 demos. I got the Persona 5 Strikers demo, Balan Wonderworld, and Monster Hunter Rise all ready for a stream tomorrow, and I don't know which game I'm going to start with, and I don't know if I'm going to play through all the Persona 5 stuff, because it's in Japanese, and I'm not going to get a whole lot of playing through a story that I don't understand, and I haven't even played the first game in it, so probably not going to be me playing through the entire demo, but we'll see. That's a Shadow Edge. It's pretty mediocre, and the game uses a heavily modified Sonic Heroes engine. Yeah, that game had potential to be more than what it was. It feels like they tried to do something cool with Shadow's, like, backstory, and they ended up not really knowing what they were doing, and they ended up just making him into a laughingstock and an edgelord, like, way more than he already was. Like, Shadow wasn't that badly written before that game. He was actually a pretty good character. Even if he had a little bit of edge to him, it didn't fucking take over his entire personality. And then they went way too far into the joke of Shadow being an edgelord, Shadow the Hedgehog, in my opinion. It would have been better done if they dialed it back a little bit. Go light this up really quick, and then, yeah, I need an AFK break for just a little bit. I need to go to the bathroom really badly, so yeah. I'll double check what I missed out on in chat in a minute. I just need a little bit of time away from the computer just so I can go take care of using the bathroom for one, and might have to do, like, one other thing really quickly. I'll be back in just a second. Let me put the BRB up for you guys. Okay, I'll BRB. If you guys want to go grab a snack or some water or whatever, now's a good time. See you guys in a few. I am back. Okay, give me 1 second. I ran into a slight complication when I was going to the bathroom. I had to deal with in the bathroom, just a problem that cropped up. So my bad. I apologize for the delay. Wasn't intending to leave the chat room unattended for several minutes, but I mean, not exactly figured out a good way to deal with these BRB breaks. And I need to figure out maybe if I can put on some music or do something with clips or something in the meantime to make things a little bit more interesting just in the meantime while I'm gone. If you have any suggestions for what you can do during BRB breaks, you're more than welcome to suggest something like that, but can't help it. Sometimes you just need to go to the bathroom. Anyway, where was I? We got a little bit sidetracked. Seeing what I was talking about, just trying to double check what I want to discuss, what all we were talking about. I missed out on a few chat messages, I think. So you've already gone off Melee Kirby. Alright, wish I could have said something sooner, but bye. Sucks I missed out on that. Let me see. Thinking here for a moment. Favorite characters? I don't know what that message actually is referring to specifically, since I missed out on part of it. I'm not sure if it's like Zelda characters or Mario characters. It means like Pokemon. I don't know, actually. I never really put a lot of thought into it. I mean, maybe Professor Oak. I don't know. That's a hard one to say. Rivals are fun to talk about, too. Like, I like how Blue and Silver were done particularly, just because it's like, I miss having the chance to have a rival where it feels like you're not fucking buddy-buddy with them, and a lot of Pokemon rivals don't do that super well. Also, the champions in Pokemon are pretty good, so it's really good to see like well-done characters, whether it be Lance, Cynthia, any of those kind of characters. The Pokemon champions are usually pretty interesting characters, especially older in Gen 5, when you never even get to fucking properly battle the guy because N takes over at the very end of the game. Let's see here. I'm thinking on other things that I was going to mention. Oh, I shouldn't talk about this subject for a minute. For characters, I guess I haven't talked about it too much. Somebody asked. I also like Zelda characters quite a bit, so let's see, Zelda characters that I really enjoy. Tingle's goofy. I like him. He's got some fun little games. Tingle's interesting enough that he works out as a character really well, in my opinion, so I've always found Tingle to be pretty good. Also, like, most of the characters aside from Link are usually interesting. I'd say Link isn't that interesting as a character overall, but most of the other Zelda characters are fairly well developed, in my opinion. Like, it's always neat to see the different Zeldas. It's cool to see how Impa's done. The NPCs are usually really, really neat, like traveling masked salesman, or hiding my salesman, excuse me. Who else is there that I forgot about? Like, big ones, and there's others that I can name, too. Cafe and Angie are both pretty good, and Malon's good for Zelda. I like a lot of Mario characters, and take a while to list those, and only other thing I think is Sonic characters, maybe, that I mentioned earlier, so I didn't talk about that too much. In terms of Sonic characters, let's see here. I like a lot of the Sonic characters, actually. Shadow's actually a better character, in my opinion, even though he's been not as well written in the past few recent years. I wish I could say Knuckles, but Knuckles has been kind of dumbed down to where he's just kind of token stupid character more than an actual character, so it's kind of hard to really like him. Tails is good. I like his inventive personality. A lot of the Sonic characters are really, really cool. Eggman's good because he's a good source of humor, so I actually enjoy watching Eggman. And I think if there's any other big name ones that I can remember right now before I drop the subject and think of other things to talk about, because I don't actually know how many characters I want to bring up. I mean, if you want to discuss it, feel free to ask me about a character from a game or characters, or certain games or whatever. I don't mind talking about it. Also, I haven't seen many messages in the chat. I don't know if anybody still hanging around or not. My bad. Like I said, I had to go to the bathroom, and I needed to take a few minutes to make sure I could take care of business so I could actually do this, so yeah. Sorry, I just needed some time to myself. It's natural, though. Give me a second or two. I'm going to look at one thing before I look at what I want to bring up, actually. Okay. So, let me check my list. I got some stuff I want to look into. By the way, if anybody is listening out of curiosity, it's just like a good topic to look into and thing to talk about with people in general. You guys are doing any shiny hunts in Pokemon? What are you guys doing right now for shiny hunting? I'm curious to hear about that and hear what everybody's looking into trying to get. I think there's a lot of people doing Dynamax Adventures. I haven't seen them as much, though. Hold on a second. I accidentally fucking hit the wrong button here. Let me make sure this actually works. Yeah? Okay. I was checking because I didn't want to fucking pull that up in the first place. Just checking on a page thing on here really quick, actually. Okay, things seem good. Just had to verify something, that's all. Let's see here. Give me a second. Thinking here. I don't know which one I want to talk about of all my things I've listed. Okay, I guess I got something to talk about for a little bit. So you guys ever go on field trips when you were in school, or just like trip with your families? I'm curious to hear about that because I feel like that's a fun thing to discuss, is like differing field trips. So you always had like a few things when I was in school that I really enjoyed. Fun to discuss like where all you go to on field trips, or what all do, basically that kind of stuff, like where you visited. I remember one of them that I enjoyed, we did fairly commonly, like there was a field trip every year where we'd go down and we'd basically go to Chuck E. Cheese's every year, I think for like, I think it was like 1st to 5th grade or something, maybe, I'm not certain. It was like, you get like, mostly A's or like, A's and B's or something along those lines. I can't remember exactly, but you got like, good enough grades, everybody who did would get to go to Chuck E. Cheese's. That was like a really, really fun field trip we enjoyed every year. Obviously now it's not something I do. I'm an adult, and it was fun as a kid though. Get to go down there and enjoy putting in little tokens, playing the games, eating pizza. It was a kid's favorite place to go because you got two of your favorite things in the world. You got games, you got pizza, and really all you needed most of the time. Enjoyed that a lot. That was a really, really simple one. And I've also done some stuff like we went to the swimming pool once, and we've done like something where we went out and did like activities at like a park or something. We've had like a few different field trips that I can remember as a kid that were relatively fun. I don't remember like all of them. Most of them were pretty good. I think we did like not a whole lot that were like actually educational trips, actually, surprisingly. I think they were mostly just whatever for field trips. There were a lot of fun memories, though, going on field trips that I actually remember pretty well. Unfortunately, a lot of the names of these places are things I don't remember too much. I remember one we did, I don't remember the name of it at all. It was a very, very good one. We went to like a place that was like on a farm or something, and it was like a set up like a theme park, kind of like there were all sorts of attractions there. There was like a maze you could go through, and I think if you did it in enough time, you'd get a prize for it. They had like a water slide or something. There were, so what else was there that I can think of? There were quite a few of them. I think they had something about like scarecrows, and I don't recall if they had any animals set up. Probably were, but I don't remember seeing any, actually. I mean, it would make sense to have a petting zoo in that kind of place that they did, because it's a farm, and obviously it wouldn't be that hard to get, like, pigs or goats or something in a pen for people to mess around with. I don't think I've ever been to too many... Like, I don't think I've been to the zoo super often, actually, and not petting zoos very often either. I've only been to them, like, a few times. Speaking of that. I only remember like once or twice, actually, and I don't think I ever remember going by a petting zoo more than once. Trying to think of what at all interesting stuff I've seen at them. Not really that much. I mean, I've seen the monkeys, lions, all that stuff. There's a lot of cool animals at zoos, but Let's see here. Thinking right now what all I should talk about still more than this. there's anything else I wanted to discuss in this matter. You guys have science fairs very often as kids, or no? I'm just curious when you're younger, or still if you're in school, like, you guys do that kind of thing. I remember science projects were pretty fun as a kid. Or there were a lot of people who tried to do that exploding volcano, like, science project, and that was one that was pretty neat, seeing how that operated. I don't actually think I ever learned how to do that. I remember I was in a science fair thing, but I forgot what my project was when I was younger. I wish I could remember. It was something that was, I don't think it was like anything super crazy. We did something fairly tame. Now, there were a lot of interesting ones. Some of them were less cool than others. There was like one that was like potato clock. That's a pretty common one for a kid to like cook a potato up, where it could like be wired up and it'd have like an actual way to tell time on. I forgot how the hell that actually worked though. A really, really interesting thing. Give me a second. I'm curious if Google actually has any results on that. Huh. I see it on Google. I don't know how the fuck it's actually, how you do that. Interesting, though. One of the more strange science experiments as a kid you could mess around with. What else was there? There's another big one that I can think of. There's one more, at least, that I thought I remembered that was fairly big. Oh, excuse me. Oh! I have a fucking mute button ready, which I probably should for that shit. Whatever, though. My bad. Sorry about that. Let's see, we did the bottle rocket experiments. Those were fun. Try to set it up and try to get, like, just the right, like, stuff attached to it. I forget what all there was that you needed. I don't remember if it was, like, a full bottle of, like, soda or what. It was something pretty neat. You had to do, like, a finger, you'd attach something to a soda bottle, and if you did it right, you could make it fly up just like a rocket. Bottle rockets are one of the more fun science projects that I remember doing as a kid, and one of the ones that I found to be pretty fun to mess around with. I always enjoyed the projects we did in science, but never really loved doing the science itself because some of it was like kind of confusing. I forget which. I was one of them I didn't really like a lot. I think it was physics class is the one I struggled with science. I liked it, but physics was always just a pain to fucking work with, and it got into some very, very confusing stuff. Also had some math involved with it, and math isn't bad, but when you get into high school level math, good God, it gets insane. Hi there, welcome to the stream. Yeah, we're hunting for Registeel. Been working on the entire set of these guys, and just got Regirock not that long ago. I've got 3 of these guys already. Welcome to the stream, though. How are you? Hopefully you're doing good. Just talking about whatever right now. Let's see, I'm thinking right now, actually, what else I want to talk about. I have a lot of things on my mind, though, so just give me a second or two, and I'm sure I'll come up with something otherwise I want to discuss. I just need a second or two to think about this. See here, looking at this. Here's something that might be fun to discuss for a little bit. I don't know if anybody wants to. Whether or not, if you do, then cool. If not, it's not a big deal. So, how many of you guys were in relationships when you were younger? I'm just curious to hear. I've been, and not that many. I am really bad at talking to people overall. I feel like my social skills could still use work. I remember when I was in high school, I got a little more brave and I tried asking out a girl. Did not go well. That's one thing I don't like talking about is rejections. That's one of the worst things to experience when you're younger, just in general, is getting rejected when you ask somebody out. It seems like a lot of people are a little bit needlessly cruel when it comes to that stuff. It's like, you don't have to be an asshole to reject somebody, you just say no. You hear about a lot of stuff when you're a kid, you're going to experience like that kind of stuff, and it's like, really, you can't just say no, you can't just ended without saying something awful. It's like, why? Why can't you just end this without making a fucking scene or a problem out of it, and instead of like saying someone's ugly or trying to hurt somebody just because you don't want to go out with them. That's one thing I never liked as a kid. It's like, it doesn't hurt to say no without being rude about it. Not that it's a big deal. I was the type of person who, when I was younger, I didn't really have a lot of confidence in myself, unfortunately. I remember I went through a number of different crushes, and I never had the courage to ask anybody out. I was always too afraid most of the time, and missed out on some opportunities as a result of that. I've only been in 2 relationships my whole life, and I probably could have been in more if I was a little braver. Kind of sucks thinking about that a little bit. My first one I've been in was in like 3rd grade, and I was I think I was in church. There was a girl that I liked, and she liked me back, and dated for a few months. I don't know why I ended up breaking off and not seeing her still. Like, it was like I just stopped. I don't know why. I didn't have any real good reason why the end relationship suddenly ended. It just did, and it wasn't her, it was me. I don't know why. Like, I was a little kid, and I didn't know what I was doing with my life, and I probably could have done a lot better if I knew what I was doing. I was a dumb kid. Ended up ending a relationship that went on for like a month or 2 or more, and it wasn't that the relationship was bad. I just didn't know what I was doing as a kid. I was stupid. Kind of sucks a little bit. The only other relationship I've been in was in, I guess, like, I was in San Antonio, and it was like a few years back. It was like 2012 or 2013 or something. I dated a girl for like nearly a year, and ended up having our differences, and I wanted to move back home, and she didn't want to move, and we ended up breaking up. It was something that a little bit sad about, but it wasn't an amazing relationship. It didn't work out super well otherwise. I would have stuck around there. Sucked breaking up, though. Breakups are usually not a lot of fun. I wish I could get into another relationship, so I haven't had anybody that I've been with in a long time, and I do miss that feeling. I'd like to be able to date somebody again. It'd be kind of nice, honestly. Don't know if that'll happen anytime soon, though. I had a lot of problems trying to date when I was younger, because I didn't know what I was doing, and I feel like I've missed a lot of opportunities in my adult life to ask people out that I haven't noticed for girls that I've been interested in. Or I should say women, I guess. I mean, girls when I was younger, obviously, but yeah. I'm having too many self-confidence problems, I feel like. I'm trying to think if there's any stories that I want to talk about. There was one girl that I liked for like several years, and didn't realize that I was wasting my time trying to ask her out until way too late, and I had a huge crush on her. She didn't like me back, and it was a mistake. I was a dumb thing I did as a kid. I wish I was better about my emotions when I was younger. I wasn't that bright, though. Ugh. Make a lot of mistakes when you're a kid without even realizing it. It's not a fun thing to go through. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. Hold on, put this down to the topic I've talked about for a moment, at least. Just in case. When there are more people around, we can discuss this more. It's nice to be in a relationship, though, and things are working out. You can tell when a relationship's good. Usually, if that's the case, you want to be together and want to spend time together. It's not hard to tell when you're in love and a relationship that actually matters. It's a nice feeling, but relationships, I feel like, are hard to find. I wish I could experience that again. It'd be nice. Maybe one day, hopefully. Let's see, what else going on at the moment that's worth bringing up still? Give me a second or two. I've got a lot of things on my list that I want to discuss still, though. Okay, here's something that I can discuss for just a little bit. This is just like a random topic that I thought I'd throw out there for right now. Not really anything too big of a deal. So I'm curious, what are some funny images you guys have seen, whether it be meme related or whatever, just good stuff out there, some really funny ones, or also, on the other hand, you can talk about really cursed images. There's some weird ones out there. It's fun to discuss some. I found that if you look in the right places, you can find some really good stuff. I remember one that I've seen on Vinesauce, really funny. Fucking weird-looking monkey image, the taco on it looks really fucking stupid. Thinking on another one. I'm sure some of you guys heard of this. One of my favorites is that fucking return to monkey thing. That's funnier than it should be. That meme is stupid, and I don't think it's that old. It's still funny, though. Go back! I want to be monkey! I don't know why I find that funny as hell, listening to it. One of the few things, I don't know why, I genuinely enjoy sit down and listen to meme stuff for a little bit, and then see how dumb it is. It's usually just harmless fun. Good images I can think of, like, I'm thinking on stuff. You guys ever done anything like where you sit down and you just, like, waste time photoshopping an image or whatever and just messing around with it just for the hell of it? That's something that's pretty fun, not amazing, a good way to get a cheap laugh. One of my favorite streamers is Vinesauce Joel, and he does that every now and then. Funny to watch goofy stuff that comes up, and it's just like wasting time doing dumb segments like that. Seeing all these pointless things. I always enjoy seeing a really, really silly and stupid talk every now and then. Oh, there's a lot I wanted to discuss about this, unfortunately. Like, I wanted to talk about it, but I don't know if there's anything I wanted to bring up that was actually going to be substantial here. My bad. Let me get a second or two, and I'll look at what I want to bring up next. There's a lot that I have on my mind, but still. Did I not hit the A button? So that's my fault. Okay, open up this, and I'm curious. You guys use screensavers? Like, I think I have 462. If not, whatever, my bad. I'm just going to count this up just in case. I think I forgot that one. I don't know. I'm going to keep counting. I don't care. Whatever. Like I was saying, you guys use screensavers, or have you in the past? I think screensavers are kind of a thing of the past nowadays. I mean, I don't know anybody who still uses them. Most of the time, it's just like a lock screen or whatever when you're using a phone or even that for a computer. I remember back in the day, I would use all sorts of them. There were a lot of neat ones, like the Windows maze. Was that Windows XP, Windows 98? I'm not actually sure which like Windows operating system had the maze. That was one of the ones that I enjoyed watching. I think somebody made a game based around that. Excuse me. Those fucking allergies, man, they suck. Fucking make my day harder than it needs to be, and it's not a fun thing to deal with. Really goddamn annoying. Ugh. Anyway, whatever, yeah. Windows 98 maze was something really, really neat, really, really different kind of screensaver. Watch it mess around and see how big it was, see how it was designed. It was neat to see it, like, pan around it and see the details of it. Something about it was, like, really mystical looking as a kid. Apparently there's somebody who's made an actual game out of that, and it's not very fun, but I mean, not that surprising. It was made as a fucking screensaver. I have a feeling it wasn't meant to be made into an actual maze in a video game or something, so probably doesn't translate out super well. Other good screensavers that I remember. I remember watching something specifically on like a screensaver pack thing, and I thought about Vinesauce a little bit, and there were some good ones. There were some stupid stuff too. There's one of the members like a fucking kind of gross thing, where it's a fucking goblin screen or something is like going around fucking making farting noises. That one was kind of weird. There were also some there had some like creepy looking imagery, like eyes and mouths and noses or whatever, and it looked all gross. It looked like a monster. That was nasty. That wasn't a fun one to watch. I'm trying to think what all was in the screensaver pack. I remember one of them in particular that was really, really good that we'll get to in just a moment and we can talk about. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else in terms of the ones that I haven't mentioned besides this, though, and the one I'm thinking of is a rat race thing that we can talk about in a second. Hey, looks at this something. Or should look at something for a second, see if I can find a result for what I'm looking for. Old screensavers. I see that pipe one. Remember that one? Give me a second or two. I'm just looking to see if I can find a result for this. The man actually show me what I was thinking of and show me some of these old ones. I wanted to look at these again. I guess I'm gonna not count this one. I don't know if I counted it or not. 1 second. Oh wait. Hold on. A lot of weird ones here. Some interesting color effects. Some bugs on it. Interesting. Leonardo da Vinci screens. I've seen that one actually. Interesting. Some of these are kind of they're just like images like scattered around everywhere. None of that's bad. Just there's not really anything jumps out about this that was actually amazing. It's kind of I mean, nowadays screensavers don't really have much of a purpose to them. I mean, most people don't use them and don't pay attention to them. They were cool back in the day, though. Otherwise, the end of that, I can't figure out anything else I want to say about these screensavers. So I have to look through and double check them. One of them I remember was like saying this was a thing where it was a rat race. It was like you'd see races, see a bunch of rats on your screen, and you'd see them go around in like a horse race kind of environment and like race around the screen. It was a neat little thing, nothing crazy, just a small little thing, and you could make it where you like. Well, I was gonna say they did Twitch betting. That's right. Yeah, they did that. They didn't actually have a proper thing on it. It was just like see the results, and you could see how it was going, and you could even like mess with the AI for the rats involved in the race. Really, really neat. Really, really good little screensaver that had more depth in it than you'd actually expect out of a screensaver. Kind of makes me miss them just a little bit. I mean, to be honest, I don't miss them that much. Screensavers were okay, but they weren't really anything necessary. They were cool, but didn't really have a huge purpose they needed to fulfill, so I feel like they were something that you can kind of consider a good part of the past that probably won't ever return unless I'm mistaken. I haven't seen any need for them. I don't know if there's anything else I want to say about screensavers, actually, because I think that might be it. Nothing else I can think of that's noteworthy about them that are, like, good ones. Maybe there's some that I forgot about. Speaking of... I shouldn't think of that season. I think of something else, actually. Here's another topic that's kind of good for a little bit. This will be about... Let's see, give me a second. Actually, I have another thing I'm going to talk about in a second. But I was going to say, oh yeah, game demos, some more. You guys play demos for games any? Like when you get a chance, do you guys like to download demos, whether it be a beta or you guys play like a demo for a game to check it out and see how it plays? I know they're not very common anymore. Nowadays, demos are very much something that doesn't show up nowadays, I'm guessing, because a lot of developers have gotten used to the idea and truthfully the fact they can get away with releasing games and they can rely on hype to get people to buy their game. I actually do miss demos a little bit. Demos were fun to mess around with as a kid. They were just a good way to test out a game and try to get an idea or like a feel for the game before you played it. Nowadays, there's barely any demos that come out. When you get them, it's cool to see them, and it's really great to play a demo, but they're so few and far between, honestly. I just wish there were more of them because I actually like demos, and nice to see what all's thought up for them. Also, you get like an online demo, usually playing a game where you can play like early access and beta test is fun to like get an idea of how the game plays, get a feel for what it's like. I enjoy that about game demos, so I think that's a fun thing to do. It's a shame they're not there anymore. Also, the limited uses on demos some developers do is, and it's cool to see a developer do like a special demo, because I feel like those don't happen anymore. Like you get a demo that's catered specifically to the fact that it's like meant to be something unique that you don't see in the game, or something cool that you wouldn't normally see, like a different experience for the player. Like how Resident Evil 8's demo is supposed to be separated from the main game and just get you involved in the main world of the game. I like that. I like seeing little extra added things you can do. My throat's acting up a little bit, so sorry if it's bothering anybody and if it's a problem. My bad if so. Anyway, give me a second or two. I have another thing I want to discuss about this, actually, before we get off the demo topic. One thing I really enjoyed as a kid, and I don't recall seeing this anymore, was like demo kiosks or special discs that didn't have demos on them. One thing I remember that I would see quite a bit when you go into a store, there were usually like kiosks where you could see a game console or something set up with demos. They'd change them and put in the new games, and then the new consoles, they'd update the selection of demos you could try out. That was always fun to go in and play a game on there, and usually you could find something new to check out and something cool, and maybe even get the chance to buy something you wouldn't otherwise. I've played quite a few games that I never would have on like PlayStation demos or whatever through this. Like I played some game called Whiplash that I remember somewhat well through a demo. I also played, what was it? I played Whiplash, I played Lego Star Wars on a demo. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed playing Lego Star Wars. What else did I play? Thinking here, because there were a lot of them. And I played Rayman Legends that way as well on Wii U, actually, and there were countless games that I played on these, and for some reason that's not immediately jumping to me like another big one that I played is right now, unfortunately. Thinking if there's anything at all that I've forgotten about, though. Most of them are stuff that I didn't actually buy, though, because I didn't have a PlayStation. I played that and N64 demos to an extent, actually. It was a fun time sometimes, just messing around with like a thing and then going in, checking out a demo, getting to see what it's like in a store. It was a genuinely unique experience that can't really replicate nowadays. Any others that come to mind? Because I'm thinking if there's anything, and nothing else seems to be leaping out at me. Otherwise, I would mention it. Sorry if I sound like I was going to say something exciting and I just didn't have anything I could think of. Whatever, though. Whatever. I remember like I said, there were demo discs that you could get too. I remember some good ones. I remember just one that I got particularly, but I saw like quite a few, like a PlayStation demo disc with all sorts of stuff on it. Like some racing game had, what was it? I think there was like racing game. They had fighting stuff. They had, I think Ape Escape was on there. Some other stuff, like a friend had something like that. There's a bunch of things. I don't remember the demo discs as well. I think there was a demo disc with Spyro on it as well, which was pretty cool. I don't remember the PlayStation ones very well because I didn't play those very much. And I do recall that I actually got a demo disc for Mario Kart 8 back, or not Mario Kart 8, Mario Kart Double Dash back in the day. There was like a promo disc, and I had a whole bunch of GameCube games on it. I think it had Force Words, Adventures, something like maybe even Force Words on the Game Boy played and through like that. I'm not certain about that part. What else was there? I'm trying to think on all the games that came on it. I remember a lot of it, but I don't remember like what all it was. I think there might have been Pikmin on it. Let me see and see what it says. Double Dash demo disc. What does this thing say? I remember playing it, but I don't remember the discs like games very well. There were quite a few apparently, and I forgot about them. I don't know if I played all these or not actually. Oh wait, I think I remember I played some of these now. I'm double checking it, and I'm seeing some of these games I remember actually. Mario Party 5. That's one I believe I played through a disc. I'm not certain about that one. That was fun. I enjoyed it. I didn't remember F-Zero GX on there, and apparently it was on there, which is interesting. The TMNT game, which I recall playing, which was pretty good. That was a fun time. Star Wars Rogue Squadron 3, didn't play that. I believe I played Sonic Heroes on the demo disc. I'm not certain. Let's see. Huh. Fire Emblem demo, or is it the full game? I don't think it is, but I don't know, actually. Interesting. And there's a Fire Emblem thing that was on there that I didn't know about. Also, there are videos on there that I remember, because I remember watching the Pokemon Coliseum demo video on it. That was a pretty fun thing to check out and pretty cool to see as a little kid. I remember I pre-ordered it, or not even pre-ordered, I think I got it like day one, got my hands on Jirachi disc. That was fun. Kirby Air Ride, I forgot about that. That was fun too. Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup, I didn't remember that at all. I think I played that though via getting it sometime. I think I remember just like playing it because somebody, we got it from like as a gift or something. I might be wrong about that. It was an okay thing. It wasn't anything crazy. It was a fun little distraction of a game. It wasn't anything crazy. Surprisingly good for a game based off a fucking sport in a movie, though. Like, more fun than you'd actually think it would be. Not just a boring little sports game, but actually surprisingly deep enough to work out. Not that bad. Let's see. SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. I don't remember that video of that whatsoever. I remember maybe a little bit at most. I remember seeing it advertised NBA Live 2004. I'm sure I probably saw it, but I blanked it out because I had no interest in sports games back in the day, and I still don't have that much interest in them. I didn't play them that long ago. Also, I didn't mention it, Mario Party 5 was on this, and I played that. That was fun. I remember I got quite a few of these games because of this demo disc. I think I got Sonic Heroes and Mario Party 5 because of it, I think, and I know I got the TMNT game because I enjoyed it. Also, that 180-degree avalanche game had a like video on it. I think I saw that, and I don't remember very much of it besides like wanting it. I thought it looked cool. It's weird. I thought I remember seeing an Animal Crossing thing in here too. It might have been a TV ad I saw. They had a lot of, like, promotions for stuff going on in their games and their demo discs or whatever they had and back in the day. I remember when you played Luigi's Mansion 1 back on GameCube and you looked in there, there was, like, a section for, like, some extras. And one of the things they would show you if you looked at the extras, there was a trailer in there, and it would show you a trailer for Pikmin 1, actually. That was one thing I remembered pretty well. It was surprising to see new IP from Nintendo being advertised, and Luigi's Mansion, which it was still new itself, but I mean, really cool to see them advertise it like that. Almost didn't get into the series, and I'm glad I did, though. It wasn't because of the Luigi's Mansion stuff, though. There was something else that I think I had one other thing I remembered well from like an older Nintendo game, but I'm not certain. Oh yeah, I remember now. It was that Zelda thing. That collection they did was pretty good. It wasn't amazing. They had like, what was it? It was Zelda, like it was the first game, I think, like Zelda 1, Zelda 2, and then it had Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time, I think, and it was a Zelda disc you could get for like buying the GameCube in like a certain bundle, or you could order it or whatever and get it, and it had a Wind Waker demo on it. I remember we had problems with our GameCube, so we ended up buying one, got that, and it was fun to mess around with for a little bit. I remember before I got Wind Waker, I would like mess around with this demo trying to do stuff, and it was only like 20 minutes, and I would sit there wasting time trying to get as far as I possibly could in the demo. Speaking of demos, do you guys prefer for a demo? Do you guys like one that lets you have a unique experience and explore, or do you guys like one that's short and sweet, or what? I think I prefer to have a few levels or whatever, and I feel like the more exploration is allowed in a demo, the better. It's better to get a feel for the game and to get to try and see all you can rather than just get to see a little bit of the game, and those are usually the demos that I really, really enjoy the most, so those are the ones that I enjoy playing. I think I'm done talking on demo talk for just a little bit, actually. 1 second, actually. Give me a second or two, actually, before we continue. Just wanted to check on one tiny little thing. Also, I wish this would hurry up and show up shiny, but I bet it's not going to happen today. I bet we're going to get closer to 1,000. Got some good shiny luck on that Regirock, and there's a good chance we're not going to get quite as good a shiny luck here, unfortunately. If I'm wrong, then that'd be awesome, though. That'd be really good to be proven wrong here. Let me see here what I've got that I want to discuss for the last little bit of the stream. Okay, here's something that ought to be good for discussing for a little bit. There's a lot of AI stuff that's been developed like over in recent years for like different programs or programs in general. Wanted to hear some thoughts on this. What are some stuff you guys like to mess around with, like different programs you use on your computer or different AIs you've seen and heard of? There's one with like a captioning image bot. It tries to describe and caption an image that you send it. That's a fun thing to mess around with that I've messed around a few times with. I don't think it's a great bot. Fun little thing to mess around with, though. Neat tool, nothing crazy. There's a lot of them, like one I found really, really neat, like one that'll generate art on its own based on certain stuff. I don't know if it's like it generates it automatic or do you have to get a keyword. Those are neat to see, like what all a robot tries to make and tries to interpret of art. That's something I like, seeing AI do that. Also, there's like AI music, and those are weird. You can see all sorts of things. Some of them are crappy, and some of them are not that bad. Like, one of the results I've seen for AI-generated music is something I saw on Vinesauce, where you can give it, like, some presets, and it can make music depending on what you feed it. You can even tell it to make music in the style of a certain band, and it'll actually make it and make something pretty neat sounding. And it also, like, the weirdest part is you do this and you can hear music that actually sounds like it came from a certain band. You could do, like, giving it something based off of Nirvana and get something that sounds like a track they made. It's not actually one of their songs. Or do that for the Gorillaz or whatever. Try to make music and see what it comes up with. It's both interesting and really, really weird. Like, I'm imagining what this would seem like if you use this either on, like, say, Elvis Presley stuff or maybe David Bowie, and, like, end up hearing something that sounds like something they would make, even though they're both dead. It's really weird, and also, at the same time, really, really cool to see exactly where AI's developed to over years and exactly, like, what particular areas it's gotten really strong in. Thinking of that, actually, I'm like, thinking about, like, another thing that's pretty neat on AI, like, image generating AI. I know there's a lot of them. There's some really neat ones. Some that'll be like a dog or whatever, or a cat, or a monkey, like, give it an image and it tries to give you, like, basically what its parameters are and turns the object into what it says it will. Those are fairly interesting. And there's also one, I don't remember what it's called, where you can use it and you can feed an image to it and you get, like, several results and different art styles. Like, it basically will give you, like, one that's Disney looking, one that's kind of CGI looking. Then there's another thing that's in the style of, like, that Archer show, and there was some other result that I don't remember. It's like 4 different animated styles that it makes the images based in. Really, really fascinating stuff, and really, really cool. Some of these AI are really good, and honestly, things I really enjoy looking at. Maybe we could do a stream of that sometime. I don't know if it'd be interesting or worthwhile, but I think it'd be fun to goof off with for a little bit and just see how things turn out, actually. I mean, the last thing I can bring up that I'm thinking of for AI that I have on my mind is that I feel like AI Dungeon that I streamed last time was really good. That's one of my favorites, actually. Really nice program. It's cool to see how that works and how it can generate stories, and it has so much effort put into it. AI Dungeon is absolutely great. I love how you just give it a custom prompt and a little bit of writing, it goes wild with it, or you can take in any of the custom prompts, or not custom, the prompts they give you and work with those. It's really, really powerful. Make some really funny stories and really stupid shit. Make any type of thing. We need to do more streams of AI Dungeon in the future. Amazing tool. I'm gonna mess around with that Worlds thing they added, an AI Dungeon, in my spare time as well, and I'll get back to you guys on what I think of it. I don't know if it's going to be worth messing with, but I mean, I'd like to see what all it does and see how it works. Maybe it'll be something kind of cool for later. I don't know. I wonder if it's supposed to be like you give it info for your story and then it develops a world around it. That'd be kind of neat to see, actually, if that's how that works. I'd love to see something around those lines. The tool's already really, really creative and really, really unique. I imagine that AI Dungeon is only going to get better and better with time, and I hope it only does. It's so much fun to work with. I'm looking forward to making more stories with it. Hopefully we can do that soon. Thinking here on this, like, actually, you guys like doing that kind of stuff? Any, like, writing stories and just seeing what kind of crazy stuff you can do, or do you guys not care about it? Just curious. I talked about reading quite a bit, and I used to really enjoy reading, especially books. I don't do it very much anymore, but writing something I find to be pretty fun too. Not always. It's a little bit harder, and making a story, even if you're just imagining something in your head, like, takes quite a bit of effort. It's fun to, like, sit down and just brainstorm and think of all sorts of things, though, and think of stuff that you can put into a story. Something I enjoy. It's a fun thing to do every now and then. I have a lot of respect for people who've made movies or books or whatever and written really good storylines, because I imagine that's a fucking ton of hard work, sitting there writing a massive storyline that takes that long. Video games, in particular, must take a lot of time to write, considering it's like a fucking massive, huge thing. They'll take up hours and hours of time. That must be hard. I've definitely listened to, like, interviews, and I'm sure writing games, from what I've heard from different people, yeah, it sounds like it's the hardest way to make a medium rather than doing fucking books or movies. You have to consider so many different angles you wouldn't consider otherwise when you're making a video game. Also, you have to make everything work aside from just the writing. Like, you have to make sure the game's not buggy and actually works correctly. Mad respect to people who can do that, especially when they have, like, branching choices. I'd like to get into writing someday. Maybe one day I'll try my hand and see what I can do. Wouldn't mind trying to write a little story or whatever. I don't think I've got the talent for it. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. It'd be fun. Anyway, I guess that's about where we're gonna stop in just a second. I think we're the last encounter. We've already got our 500, so I'm just gonna set the thing up for tomorrow, for later, and I'll check my Pokédex to be safe, but I believe we didn't see a shiny, and we're still gonna have to keep going at this, it seems. Not that it's a big deal. I'm not surprised that this is taking its sweet time. This is the one that's making it longer because of the Regirock that was quick. Oh well, whatever. Not a big deal. I'll continue trying for Registeel. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. It was a lot of fun. Why does it keep doing that? Stop it. Just want to keep it in front of the statue. I don't want my controller drifting and making it where I avoid pushing more than A when I start up. That's all I want to do is just get an easy starting point. Okay, cool. There we go. I'll be back with some demos tomorrow, and we'll do some fun stuff. I hope the stream was entertaining. I hope it was interesting to listen to. If you guys enjoyed it, then awesome. Like I said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day or night. I'll catch you guys again tomorrow for some demos, and then on Sunday again for Gex stuff. See you guys later. Bye, everybody. Take care.